Tov, today's daf yomi is Sanhedrin daf noon, Sanhedrin 50. Today's daf is dedicated for a shemir for the Chayalim. That's all for the Shvuyim and the Yeshua for Am Yisrael and it's Eis Tzara. The Gemara tells us on the bottom of Memtes Amabeis 49b, 3 lines from the bottom, the Gemara discusses which of the ways in which a court executes somebody. There are 4 ways: Skila, Sreifa, Harag, and Chanek. Which is the most severe? And the Rabbanan's position that the order is the skila, first stoning is most severe, then burning, then sreifa, then hereg, decapitation, and chanek, then strangulation. Rabbi Shimon argues in 2 ways. Rabbi Shimon says sreifa is more severe than skila, and he says that hereg is more, the chanek is more severe than hereg. So first the Gemara is going to start to try to understand what's the basis for the Rabbanon's position. Before we get to that, I say, why do we care which is more severe? So the Gemara is going to tell us the nafkamina on nun amabeis that the distinction is that if somehow Rahman al a person is liable for both of these types of execution, which way do we give it to him? Which one do we give? We give him the more severe one. So we need to know which is more severe. So the Gemara says, "Skila chamura misreifa," that stoning is more burning is more severe than burning. Shekein nitnel megade, because a person who is a blasphemer or ovid avodas kochavim, he's the one he gets stoning. So my chumra, what is the stringency of it? Why it's so stringent? Shekein posha yada beikar, because they're sticking their hand out against the essence of the world, i.e., blaspheming Hashem or worshiping idolatry. Where it says Adarabba, just the opposite. Sreifa is chamor. Why don't we say burning is more strict? She came nitno abas kohen shezinta, because if there's a daughter of a kohen, and this daughter is fully married, she's what's called a nisua, then she's going to get burning, because it says in the pasuk, "Uvasish kohen kisechel is no saviyim machalel." That's by ishti saref. She gets burnt. And why is it so severe? She came that from the moment that she is adulterous, she is going to limit the honor given to her father. That if they were viewing him as holy, Rashi says, no again bo that we now view him without holiness. That we say, cursed are you that you raised this one. Cursed is the one who raised this one. And so therefore, that's why burning is more severe. So the Gemara answers no. Gemara says, Kastava Rabbanon, the Rabbanon who say stoning is more severe than burning, they're the position, Nesua Yotze Lasrefa Velo Arusa. They're the position that if a woman is fully married, she's going to get Srefa, she's going to get burnt. But if she's an Arusa, she's going to get skila, she's going to get stoning, like a regular Arusa. And from the fact that the Torah says that and the fact that the Torah says that the woman who is betrothed gets stoned, then we know that stoning is more severe than burning. And Rashi explains that when you are in Arusa, it's worse to commit adultery than when you're in a Nesua, because the Arusa is betrothed. She still lives in her father's home. And so since she's still in her father's home, therefore for this reason, it's a double adultery, because she's doing adultery against her husband and also against her father. She's betraying her father in that manner. So from the fact that the Torah says that Arusa gets stoning and the Nesua gets burning, we see from here by the Kohen, by Bas Kohen, that she gets burning. This teaches us that skila is worse than Sreifa. So we're on Nudam and Aleph, Jeff, 3 lines from the top, and we're going through the whole proof about how we know which is worse, which of the executions is the worst. The Rabbanon's position is the order is skila, then sreifa, then hereg, then chanek. Why do we care? We said we care because in case you get Rahman al somebody gets two possibilities at the same time. So the Gemara says skila chamura misayef. Well, stoning is now more severe than Saif is another word for hereg, for decapitation. How do we know this? And by the way, everybody should really pay attention when we say this the first time, because a lot of these arguments we're going to go through multiple times on this stuff. We know that stoning is more severe than decapitation. because the person who's the blasphemer and the idolater gets stoning. Uh, and what is the stringency of it? Kedamran, we said, because you're posha yada ikar. Why is blasphemy so severe? Because you're attacking God. So Gemara says, Adarabba, Saif should be chamor. Just the opposite. Beheading should be more severe. The people who are of the city that is the majority worship idolatry, then all those people are taken to the town of the year and their possessions are burnt, and they are going to get Saif. That they lose their money. And Gemara says, no, Amr is koach meruba, koach hamadiach, koach hanidach. Which is greater, which is a worse sin? The one who is madiach, the insider, or the one who is incited, who does the idolatry? Avomer koach hamadiach, the insider is worse. And the one who incites the Yarnidachas gets stoning. So we see stoning is more severe than Saif. Just pause for a moment. The idea that the inciter is worse than the one who actually does the sin, this is a law unique to the idolatry, because that's called a masis. Generally speaking, we would say that the inciter is actually exempt. That divrei Rav, divrei Talmud, divrei Mishomin. You don't listen to the student. Why would you listen to him? The God told you don't worship idolatry. So generally speaking, the inciter is like somebody who asks somebody to do a sin. But when it comes to idolatry, that's the unique law that the Torah says that the inciter is worse. So skiwa chamur milchenek. Now we say stoning is more severe than strangulation. Just the opposite. Chenek is chamor. Chenek is more severe. Because somebody who Rahman strikes their parents gets strangulation. Why so severe? Because the honor of the parents is compared to the honor of God. Gemara says no. From the fact that the girl who's betrothed, who commits adultery, gets is given a different punishment than the girl who's fully married. She gets stoning, and Bas Yisrael gets strangulation. They call the Bas Yisrael Shmamina Chamura. Now it's not necessarily the case also. It doesn't necessarily follow. It could just mean they're different. But that's a question that we shouldn't discuss. But that proves that stoning is more severe than strangulation. Now, Sreifa is Chamur Misayef. How do we know that burning is the next level down from stoning, but it's more severe than decapitation? Because the daughter of a Kohen who is adulterous, she doesn't get chanek, she gets burning. And so, therefore, we see from here that the daughter of a Kohen is obviously holier than the daughter of an Israelite, so she gets a more severe penalty of burning. So that proves burning is more severe than decapitation. She desecrates her father's holiness. Other of a saif chamor, just the opposite. Decapitation is given to the people of the Dachas. So the Gemara says, that they lose their money. The Gemara says, no. Nemer avia b'skila v'nemer avia b'sreifa. Ma avia amor b'skila skil chamor. Just like the father, just like it says her father by skila, and it says her father by burning. Ma avia amor b'skila. Just like by her father, skila is chamor. Stoning is more stringent. By the case of the Arusa, Misayef, Afavia, more besreifa, Sreifa Chamor Misayef. So too, Sreifa is more severe than Sayef. And Sreifa me Chamor Mechanek, and the burning is more severe than strangulation. Shekain Nisno Abbas Kohen Shazinta. If the daughter of a Kohen who's fully married commits adultery, she gets Sreifa, and Nachanek, Mechom Rakada Amran. Like we said, Adarabba, just the opposite. Just the opposite. Strangulation should be more severe. Says no. When the fact that the daughter of a Kohen, the Torah says, is going to get sreifa, we call the suabas more severe than the suabas, and it goes mechanical sreifa. This proves shmamina sreifa chamor. This proves burning is more severe than strangulation. Now we come to the last one of the Rabbanim's position. That beheading is more severe than strangulation. That Aaron and Dachas gets the strangulation. That they lose, that all the money of the town is destroyed. Strangulation should be more severe. Just the opposite. How do we know? No, it's more severe to attack God than to strike a parent. So that's how we know that decapitation is more severe than strangulation. Now we go to Rabbi Shimon's position. Again, Rabbi Shimon says, he argues with the Rabbanan. He says burning is more severe than stoning, and strangulation is more severe than decapitation. So we have to, he argues in both ways. So we have to analyze this. Sreifa chamor miski. Burning is more severe. Shekei nisno abbas kohen shezinta. Daughter of a Kohen who's fully married, excuse me, Shekei nitno abbas kohen shezinta. Rabbi Shimon is going to be in the position that Rabbi Shimon is of the position that not he argues with the rabbis about this point. Not only does the daughter of a Nesua, who's a daughter of a Kohen who's a Nesua get Sreifa, but also the daughter of an Arusa, the daughter of a Kohen who's an Arusa gets Sreifa. The Yisrael, the daughter of Yisrael gets stoned, who is adultery while she's in Arusa, she gets stoned. According to Rabbi Shimon, if she's the daughter of a Kohen, she's going to get burnt. And so therefore, from the fact that he upgrades it, so to speak, the punishment from stoning to burning, that proves that the burning is more severe than the stoning. Rabbi Shimon over Streifa Chamur Miskiwa. Why is it so severe? Because she desecrates her father. Just the opposite. Stoning should be more severe because it's the blasphemer and the adulterer. So he said, Rabbi Shimon follows his logic. Rabbi Shimon follows his logic. He says not only the Nesua the daughter of the Kohen who's a Nesua gets Sreifa, but also the daughter of an Arusa, the daughter of a Kohen who's an Arusa gets Sreifa. We call Arusa bas Shom Miskil Sreifa. From the fact that the Torah says that the daughter of a Kohen who's an Arusa is now judged more severely, gets Sreifa rather than Skila. So we see from here that proves burning is more severe than stoning. And Sreifa chamor mechanek, and burning is more severe than strangulation. Because the daughter of a Kohen, Sreifa is more severe than strangulation. Why? Burning is more severe than strangulation because it's given to the daughter of a Kohen who commits adultery. Obviously, so umay chomra kedamar, like we just said, that its stringency comes from the fact that she desecrates her father's name. Strangulation should be more severe. Same argument. Gemara says no. That if she's fully married and she's daughter of a Kohen, she gets burnt. Whereas if she's a daughter of an Israelite, she gets strangulation. So from the fact that she gets burnt in that strangulation, that proves that burning is more severe than strangulation. And Sreifa is chamura misayef, and burning is more severe than decapitation. According to Rabbi Shimon, she can't know about Kohen Shazinta because, again, the daughter of a Kohen gets burning. Umay chumra. What's the stringency? Just the opposite. The decapitation is given to the Yarnidachas. Umay chumra shekem emonam. Ava, what's the stringency? They lose their money. So we say, no, which is more severe? The inciter is worse than the adulterer. And we say an argument. Just like strangulation is more severe than decapitation, burning is more severe than the chanek. Oh, so Rabbi Shimon's position, this way I should have mentioned, that he says that the one who incites the idolater, he gets strangulation. And so therefore, just like strangulation, which is more severe than decapitation, and sreifa is more severe than the chanek, saif hakal koshkem. So for sure it's more severe than, it's just like sreifa is more severe than chanek, and chanek is the inciter. So for sure it's going to be more severe than saif. Okay. Skila chamura mikanek. How do we know that stoning is more severe than strangulation? Shekain didn't know magad a little bit of his chum because the blasphemer and the idolater get stoned. My chumra kedamer, like we explained. And other avachanek chamur. No, strangulation should be worse. Shekain didn't know my chumra. So the Gemara says, how do we know stoning is more severe than strangulation? And the fact that the arusa of a daughter of an Israelite gets stoning, which is worse than if she would be fully married, where she would get strangulation. So this proves that proves stoning is more severe. It's counterintuitive. You might have thought that the one who's betrothed who commits adultery is less severe than the one who's fully married, but the whole premise of the Gemara is that the one who commits adultery while she's just betrothed is actually a far more severe sin than committing adultery while you're fully married, because you're not just she's not just betraying her husband, she's also betraying her father, because she's still living in her father's home, as Rashi explained it. And skila chamura misayef, stoning is more severe than decapitation. Shekei nisnel megadef, because the megadef gets stoning. Other abbas, sayef chamor, no, just the opposite. The sayef is more severe. Shekei nitnel anshi yaranidachas. The yaranidachas gets the decapitation. So how do we know that stoning is more severe than decapitation? So the insider is worse than the one who's inside of it. Just like strangulation is more severe than decapitation, and and stoning is more severe than chenek. So for sure it's more severe than decapitation. Okay, so now we're up to the last one. How do we know strangulation is more severe than decapitation? The one who strikes their father and mother gets strangulation. The people who do the Yarnidachas get beheaded. So how do we know that strangulation is more severe than decapitation? From the fact that the insider gets strangulation according to Rabbi Shimon. So from the fact that Rabbi Shimon says that the insider gets strangulation, that proves that he's of the position. I mean, it's circular logic also, but that proves that that strangulation is more severe than beheading. Okay, so Margo Bapume de Rabbi Yochanan. So now we're going to basically, we really should have had this at the beginning, but as the Gemara often does, we reverse things, the order in which we explain things. So Rabbi Yochanan says he had a phrase to say. There was a phrase that he typically came out of his mouth. Nara Murasa Baskoin Shazinta Bitskiva. We get the basis for their arguments. If you're a betrothed woman, then and you're the daughter of a Kohen and you're adultery, you get stoning, which Rabbi Shimon says Bisreifa. Zinta Meavia Biskila. But let's say this girl commits adultery with her father, so then she's going to get stoned. Whereas Rabbi Shimon Omer Bisreifa. Whereas Rabbi Shimon is saying she's going to get the more severe penalty of burning. Let's just go. Let's read the Rashi on this. Let's say you have an arusa bas Yisrael shezinta me'avia. You have a betrothed daughter of an Israelite that she commits adultery with her father. And there are two deaths: the skila because she's betrothed, and the sreifa because if you have adultery with your father, or if you have znus with one's father, then it's the Torah says it's listed in Elon and Srafim in Sanhedrin that you get burnt. So since she has the more severe penalty, then of adultery while as a arusa, she gets stoned according to the Rabbanan. Whereas Rabbi Shimon says bisreifa, because Rabbi Shimon for two reasons. Why is it? Where Rabbi Shimon says bisreifa? Why is Rabbi Shimon going to say bisreifa? Because Rabbi Shimon is going to be in the position, as we'll see, that first of all, the arusa, the daughter of a Kohen who commits adultery, also gets sreifa, and also he's in the position that sreifa is more severe than stoning. So first we analyze the statement. My kamashmon, what's this statement of Rabbi Yochanan teaching us? So Rabbanan is teaching us that the nesua yotze l'sreifa v'arusa, that who's the one who gets burnt? Only the one who commits adultery while she is betrothed, but not while she's fully married, but not betrothed, because betrothed will get skila. And Rabbi Shimon, and it's teaching us achas arusa, the achas nesua yatzil sreifa. And according to Rabbi Shimon, it's teaching us that both the arusa and the nesua commit adultery get sreifa. The time am I? And the Gemara asks the question, V'taimamai, what is the reason why the uh, that the Rabbanan say that the pasuk that says that a girl, daughter of a Kohen who commits adultery, gets burnt, only refers to an Nesua, whereas according to Rabbi Shimon, it refers to both an Nesua and a Rusa. Bishum the Rabbanan skil chamura, because the Rabbanan say that stoning is more severe, and so therefore they're going to say that the pasuk refers to. They're not going to say that the daughter of a Kohen gets less. Oh, Rabbi Shimon sreifa chamura, and according to Rabbi Shimon, burning is more severe. So therefore, we're not going to say the daughter of a Kohen gets less. So therefore, we're going to say it also applies to the Arusa. So nafkamino, and why do we care? Mishin is chayav shtei misos. If somebody is Rahman al does a sin which you're liable for 2 deaths, be'ezdin nidum b'chamura, then the court is going to give you the more severe one. And my Rabbi Shimon, where does Rabbi Shimon say this statement? How do we know that Rabbi Shimon says that a Bas Kohen always gets reifa, whether she's fully married or even betrothed? Titania, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Shnei Klos Nemru B'Bas Kohen. There are 2 general principles that the Torah tells us about the daughter of a Kohen. Mara says, wait, Bas Kohen v'hu Bas Yisrael. What are you talking about? It also says these halachos about a Bas Yisrael. It says, in the pasuk, it says if there's a young maiden who's betrothed to a man, and the man sleeps with her, you take them out and you stone them. So that implies every arusa, whether she's the daughter of a Kohen or daughter of an Israelite. And there's another pasuk by Nesua. It says, "Ish asher yinafas eshes ish mosi masan efes," and a man who lie with a married woman, they will both die. So that implies every married woman who commits adultery, both the Israelite or a daughter of a Kohen. So why does Rabbi Shimon say there are 2 principles that they're said about the daughter of a Kohen? So the Gemara says, "B'bas Kohen v'lo bas Yisrael, ema af b'bas Kohen." So the Gemara says no, meaning there are 2 principles that are even said by the daughter of Kohen, meaning to say 2 principles. That there's 2 distinctions between the daughter of a Kohen and the daughter of an Israelite. What are they? Hotzi HaKos of Nesua, we call Nesua, and Arusa, we call Arusa. The Rebbe Shimon says that the daughter of a Kohen is different law both by a married woman and by a betrothed woman. And how so? Hotzi HaKos of Nesua, we call Nesua, Lahachmir. So when the Torah says that the daughter of a Kohen is different than a regular daughter of an Israelite by fully married, that's to be strict, and that she doesn't just get strangulation, she gets burned. And so too, the Torah is going to tell us that she's going to be getting. The Torah is going to tell us that she's going to get burning instead of stoning as an arusa. And now the Gemara says, like almost a tangent or a coda, like Bryce continues, Zome Nesua Bas Kohen, because Zome Nesua Bas Israel. However, those false witnesses who come and try to make a false claim that the daughter of a Kohen committed adultery, they're going to be included within the Zomim of the daughter of an Israelite. Meaning to say, even though the daughter of a Kohen who is fully married, who commits adultery, gets burnt, and the daughter of an Israelite who's fully married, who commits adultery, gets strangulation, the false witnesses who come to impeach them, they're going to get the same penalty. And meaning to say, just like the Zomei Bas Yisrael get strangulation, also those who try to say that the daughter of a Kohen committed adultery while she's fully married, and then they're discovered to be false, they also don't get burning, they get strangulation. And Zomei Arusa Bas Kohen because Zomei Arusa Bas Yisrael. But the ones who try to impeach the false witnesses, by the ones who are testifying falsely about a betrothed woman, whose the punishment is skila according to the Rabbanan in all cases, and according to Rabbi Shimon, stoning it when it's daughter of an Israelite and burning if it's the daughter of a Kohen. So they are always going to get stoning, because there's a specific verse says ki mechaleles ba'ishti saref, that just the daughter of the Kohen gets a severe penalty, but the ones who testify falsely against her and her husband, they are going to just get strangulation in the case of the Nesua, in the case of the Arusa, they're going to get stoning because the pasuk is Xeris HaKosav that says she is burnt. So now the Gemara tells us, so the Gemara says, the Brisa says, Tan Rabbanan, it says in the pasuk about the daughter of a Kohen who commits adultery, Uvas ish Kohen kisechel, his nose, that the daughter of a Kohen who commits adultery, she gets burnt by ish tisarei. So again, the Rabbanan are going to say this is whether she's fully married or betrothed. And Rabbi Shimon says that's only when she's fully married, betrothed she gets stoning. So Yachoaf. So first of all, it's obvious to us. It says when she starts to commit adultery, but the rabbis ask the question, Yachoaf chilul Shabbos. I might think even if she desecrates the Shabbos, the daughter of a Kohen will get burnt. Talmud Omer, Liz knows b'chilulin shebiznus hakasim adar. It's talking about adultery. I might think even if she's totally unmarried, the daughter of a Kohen will get. I might think if she's totally unmarried, she also gets burnt. Means even if she's not married at all. It says by the daughter of a Kohen, she desecrates her father, and also by an Arusa, it says she desecrates her father. Means she has to have some relationship to the father. Or maybe the verse says that she desecrates her father as avia and also it says there's no space avia. Maybe it's just teaching us to exclude all other people, that if she herself commits adultery with them, she's like an Israelite. But just like she commits adultery with her father, she would get burnt. But if she commits adultery with everybody else, she's like the same thing. It's referring to all people. So if that's the case, what do we do with the Gzera Shava about Avia? Nemar Kan Avia and Nemar Alon Avia. It says her father both places. Tell us, Mal'alon Nusam Zika Sabal. Kan's Nusam Zika Sabal. To tell us that we're talking about a case where she's married, not where she's a Penuya, not where she's not married. Imal'alon Nara Via Rusa. Afkan Nara Via Rusa. So the bride says, so since we learned that the daughter of a Kohen commits adultery, from Gzera Shav, if that's the case, just like by Arusa, it's a Nara while she's in Arusa. Afkan also by the daughter of a Kohen, talking about a Nara Vihi Arusa. And if that's the case, but if Nara even Nisua Bogeres via Arusa, that if she's a Nara, specific Nara is a specific girl between 12 and 12 and a half. So if she's a Nara while she's in Nisua, or she's in a Bogeres while she's in Arusa, or Bogeres via Nisua Vafilu Iskina, these different age categories. How do I know that also she is going to get the severe penalty of burning? So now it's a fifth verse, but I'm going to stop the recording here. This is really tomorrow's stuff.